let's dive into your recent book here. I think it's so important. Propaganda Wars, How the Global Elite Control What You See, Think, and Feel. Tell us about your latest book, Glenn, please.
Okay, so there's a couple of things. The real war that is being fought right now is the war for your brain, the war for your thoughts, the war for you just accepting, and even to the point we get into this with AI, even to the point of taking away your free will. You'll think you have free will. You think you've made that choice, but you have been slowly manipulated through algorithms to come to that choice. And that is going to become a huge, huge problem. What we're really fighting in this war is not Donald Trump versus Kamala Harris. This is a war between big government, big corporations, big media, big pharma, big food, all of these things that are really starting to fall apart, and they need each other. And they are going to, it's all of the elites, Big Ed as well, all of the elites that have decided this doesn't work for us. That we can design a better world, and we don't need to talk to the little people anymore. They don't understand it. They never will. And so all throughout the world, they have developed this new world government and this new path. And they've been denying it for a very long time, but it's starting to become unraveled. That's why you're hearing in England. I just talked to Liz Truss today, the former prime minister of England, and she said, I didn't really get it until I was prime minister. She said, but it's absolutely there, and it is real. And the reason why I talked to her today is the collusion between governments. And you're seeing it today in two ways. One, the Labor Party going out and stumping for Kamala Harris in the United States. I've never seen that before. I mean, the British should come to Texas and try to tell us how to vote. I don't think it'd be accepted. But that is election interference, absolutely. Who are you to come in here? They're also advising the Harris administration. The Labor Party is. So two socialists are going back and forth in two different countries. But we also found that the guy who's the chief advisor of the current prime minister runs something here in America and overseas that is a propaganda and a silencing organization that goes in England, here in America, and they're using it in Brazil to silence anyone who disagrees. And they're also, as we found out yesterday in a new release, they are also colluding with our government to kill, their words, kill Musk's Twitter. That is a topic and a goal of theirs for the last year. And it's the collusion between our governments. And if you don't understand that, you won't be able to understand the world, and you won't be able to understand the world that is coming that will manipulate you unless you shake yourself out of the system, unless you shake yourself awake and understand the game that's being played against you.
So Glenn, I want to try to bring this to our immediate moment because we are 13 days out from obviously a civilizational defining election. What would the election of Donald Trump versus the election of Kamala Harris mean for this propaganda war? If Kamala Harris were to win, what would the state of free speech, disinformation, misinformation look like?
So I think, honestly, if Kamala Harris wins, because it is a global specter, the days are numbered for people like you and me who can speak our minds and speak out. I think that the only one standing at the gate right now that has any real power is Elon Musk. And as, Der Spiegel said last weekend, he's enemy number 2 of all of the big Western states. He needs to be silenced. If that goes down, we lose the freedom to be able to exercise the 5 rights in our First Amendment. We're better off than anyone else because we have the First Amendment, but it's being undermined. And we lose the America that we understand. Even if we don't have that America today, we still have the documents, and it's still possible to bring it back. But we're at a point of no return at this point. And I'm really thrilled to see the way Donald Trump is handling this whole campaign. I mean, I think he's doing a great job. They've gone now nasty, dirty, full of lies. You're seeing it today. The propaganda war on Donald Trump continues yet to, I think we have to be really concerned about theft of the election because they will do anything and everything they can to win. And that's why I'm encouraging people, go get one other person who's like, my vote doesn't count, or I like Trump, or, I like Trump's policies, but I can't vote for him because fill in the blank. Get them to the polls. We need this to be a landslide.
Yes.
If it is, we can change the world. Donald Trump is enemy number 1 in the world with all of the other countries in the world, in the Western world, because he stands in the way, not just of our government against us, but one world government. That's why they hate America First so much.
Glenn, that was so perfectly put. The book is Propaganda Wars. I have several questions, and I think the way you framed it is so important. The only way that Kamala Harris can win is the power of propaganda. We know that President Trump was a better president. We know that his value system is more in alignment with America. And I want to connect this with COVID in the next segment, Glenn, because the way that it took us a while to open millions of people's eyes during COVID and the lockdowns, we have to do that in this hyper-compressed time period to open people's eyes to Kamala Harris, because we're up against the same sort of aggressive, ferocious propaganda that eventually people will open their eyes to. The question is, can we do it in the next 13 days?